Hey everyone, it's me, Kev. Much love to each and every single one of you. Thank you for joining me today. Today is a 15-minute masterclass about auras. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and if you find my videos useful, please give a thumbs up, leave a comment, share with your friends. All of my details and the comment box are all below. So thank you for joining me, and I'm going to just get into it. The literal definition of an aura is an energy or a cloud or a mist, and it's described as an energy that emanates from all objects, whether they are solid or not, or whether they're living or not, or considered living. However, entities also have auras. Even clouds have auras. If you could see the aura of a cell, cells would also have auras because we're all giving off energy and we're all radiating this out. So that's what the aura is. Sometimes people will say, oh, you've got a lovely aura about you, or oh, that person's got a bad aura about them, and it's just in reference to how the energy from someone's aura is being translated. The image above actually shows how I see an aura. Now I zoom all the way out, if you like. So when I'm looking at somebody's aura, I'm viewing it from the furthest energetic perspective, and I'm just picking out the colours that I can see. As well as having your general aura, which is around an inch or so around your body, your physical body. You also have an aura for each of your energetic bodies, plus all your other versions of self, your higher selves, your lower selves. It is said that your chakra points in your body, they also have an energetic version of yourself, which would all have an aura. This is why you see in the illustration it has the red at the bottom and then the orange and then the yellow, which would say this is the root version, this is the sacral version, this is the solar plexus version. But that's what you could describe it as an onion, but some people describe it as an egg because of the way that it's shaped. However, remember that not only do you have this physical body, but you have many other physical bodies in many other realities as well as this one. You're only generally conscious of the one physical body at a time. But if you were to imagine a movie where there's separate frames, now the frames are moving so fast that you don't even realize that it's actually photographs. But when you slow it right down, you can see there's subtle changes between each one, and each one of those in the relation to your life, each one of those would carry a different being because you've moved to a different place. And there's also the other versions of you within other frequencies and other octaves. At the end of this video, I will actually give you a few hints and tips and tricks on how to view the different versions of an aura, but generally how you could see it as such is that the different frequency that you are at when you are viewing will determine which frequency you are viewing at. So now we've spoken a little bit about what an aura is. An example, the energy given off by anything. Now we're going to move on to the different types of auras that can be seen or have been seen and what the differences are between them. I won't be going into the colours today because I'm planning a power colours video, so keep an eye out for that one. These are not pictures of actual auras, however, they're just kind of representations of different types of auras that you can see. Now, in general, they are just around an inch or so around the body. However, in Kirlian photography, you can see it's quite spiky from the edges, and it's got a main point of energy coming out of the ends of, like, your fingers, your toes, your feet, the top of your head, that kind of thing. Some of them are quite vivid and bright. However, some of them are not as bright. It depends on which frequency you're looking at again, because even with Kirlian photography, you're only seeing a certain bandwidth. However, when you're viewing remotely or in person, even through a picture, you can see, like, you can move through the different, let's call them layers of the aura. For example, sometimes you'll see within an inch the main aura, which can be coloured sometimes it's not. Other times it's a see-through. What you can do is you can tune through, for example, if you imagine a radio dial, and you can train yourself to tune through the different layers. But it really depends on what's best for you. Some people can stare, some people look behind a person or at a photograph of a person. I prefer to do it in my mind, and it happens intuitively, or I see it in my mind. The colour of someone's aura isn't always an indication of what their personality will be like, nor whether they're going to have the characteristics of someone with that colour. You have to remember that when you're seeing outside of the physical reality, you're seeing colours that don't exist or haven't been named. I like to give them nicknames like Mauve Mave and like Hypersonic Blue, those kind of futuristic style names. Whatever you like to call them, it really doesn't matter. It's how you feel more than how you can see it. Because naturally, you'll notice when somebody's more of a happy person. You'll notice when someone's more of a sad person. You'll notice when someone's really depressed or really angry. You pick up on these things even without seeing their aura. So there's multiple ways that you can translate the aura as well. It's not always seen. Sometimes it's felt, or you get intuitive knowing, which you could say is a bit like empathy, but with empathy you would take on the symptoms of that which you're looking at, or the person that you're looking at. It really depends on from person to person. For myself, I have a strong sense of empathy where if someone in my family or someone I've communicated with, even someone on one of my internet timelines, has something that's going on, for example, if they're eating something, I can sometimes taste it, or I can smell it, or if they get a symptom in their body or a sickness or an illness, sometimes I'll pick up on that. So that is just what their energy is giving out. Sometimes it's not a seeing thing. Sometimes it doesn't look like spikes or electricity. Sometimes it looks like fire. Sometimes it loses its colour and is more see-through. Sometimes it's more those who have been through abuse or bullying or are closed off from the outside. Excuse me. If they're closed off from the outside, then they would have generally a bigger aura because they'd want to keep people further away from themselves. Sometimes when we go through our spiritual awakening, we like to expand our aura. However, the bigger your aura is, the more influence that you're going to have spiritually speaking. So there'll be more entities coming your way. There'll be more thought forms coming your way. So I like to keep my main aura as close to me as possible. The last part of this video is actually about how to see someone's aura, or an object's aura, or your own aura. Now, obviously, to see your own, you can just look at a part of your body to see its aura, or you can look at yourself in a mirror, or you can look at a picture of yourself, or you can look in your mind. Just imagine seeing your aura. You don't have to necessarily see a specific color if you don't see anything. Just imagine what color it is. Okay, so to see an aura in person, or for example an object, all you need to do is to have the object or person in front of you. And what you need to do is you need to look just behind the object or behind the person. So if they're sitting in front of a wall, what you need to do is get them to come away a few inches away from the wall. And then how you look behind them is you stare at the wall near where they are sat. Then you let your eyes relax, as you would for seeing the multidimensional energy. You let your eyes relax, and you'll start to see around them a shimmering light, which will sometimes be a colour, sometimes it won't be. It might look glittery. I'll give you an example of one. When I'm holding a pen, for example, I am obviously not trying to see its aura. However, I'm sitting there writing, and sometimes the bluish, greenish, turquoise coloured aura of the pen can be seen just slightly to the side of my vision. And that's how it works for seeing an object or seeing a person. You just kind of look just to the side of them, not directly at them, and then look behind, at the wall behind them. So it's usually better if the background is blank. So if there's a white background or a dark background or a plain painted background, then all of them can help you be able to focus and see the aura of the person or the object. See an aura remotely in your mind. All as you have to do is imagine the object or imagine the person, and all you have to do is imagine them to have their aura visible to you, and you can notice whether it's very thin, you can notice whether it's wider, you can notice a colour about it. If you can't see any of this, then just imagine what it is that you're seeing. I'll give you an example now just to go along with. My mum, she lives about 16, 17 miles away from where I live, and I'm going to look remotely in my mind at her, and I'm seeing a lot of yellow and blue. Now, what you'll find with viewing it in your mind, at first, if you're not seeing anything, it can kind of put you off and you think, oh, well, why am I not seeing this movie reel effect going on? It doesn't always happen like that. It might just be a sudden knowing. However, I've done it for nearly 5 years now, so that's how I view them. It started off imagining them, but now I can see them. So there's a shift between the two, and the final way to look at someone's aura is through a picture, or you could take a picture of an object and look at its aura. Pretty much it's the same thing as doing it in person. What you want to do is not look at the person or the object, just look slightly next to or behind. Focus on the area behind them. Now again, with the same with doing it in person, it's easier if the person is sat in front of something that's very plain, because if you're seeing a lot of colours or a lot of distractions, then it can be very misleading on what is being seen, plus other things will influence the energy of someone's aura. So that there finishes or concludes our masterclass, our 15-minute masterclass on auras. I hope it was of much use to you. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Please share. Please leave comments. Leave your feedback. If you've got any questions, all of my details are down below. Much love to you. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be back in a bit. Bye.